Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today we're going to be diving into a kind of VOD review of my own gameplay where I'm messing around trying out some Steel Jungle, but we're not just VOD reviewing this game because it's Steel Jungle. I actually want to talk a little bit throughout this game about macro and how to make decisions as a jungler, but more specifically just as someone playing Predecessor. So in the early game, it's really simple. You're in your lane, you're in your jungle, you're farming, you're getting your buffs, whatever you're doing, you're trying not to die, you're trying to get your experience and poke your enemies out. The early game is actually really particular, right? Like it's intentional. You know, everybody knows what you're doing. I actually messed up here and grabbed my E. I meant to grab my Q, so you can kind of see I looked up at it. But yeah, I want to talk about how to make decisions in a game, and I think jungle is a really good role to look at that at because you're constantly making decisions about where you want to go and what you want to do, and try to teach a little bit about what you should be paying attention to at different stages of the game in order to improve as a player and to provide some value to your team. So when it comes to early jungling, you can honestly do just about anything. You can go gank heavy level 2, try to hit a lane early. You can full clear your jungle. Like I could have stopped at that camp, killed that, and then gone to my right side jungle and killed everything else if I really wanted to. And with slower junglers, so like tankier, bruisery junglers, you tend to want to clear and farm a little bit more than going gank heavy. I'd say with like Fang Mao or with Kalari, even Chimera, you can get really a bit more aggressive. But you're going to see I'm just going for my farm, going for my buffs, and then eventually I'll start making some decisions. So first gank comes out from Fang Mao in the mid. You can see he's actually a little bit low, so that's good. I love that you can kind of see them and like get some information about them, because that means to me that he's just probably going to go farm. He's probably not going to get too gank heavy, and without my Q, I can't really gank right away. So I'm just going to keep farming, using my hunt as much as possible. You want to keep that going because you do want to clear as fast as possible. And this is going to be my Q. So now I can see, using the Q to farm a little bit faster. So early game is really specific for everybody. You really just want to farm, right? You want to farm and you want to try not to die and lose early lanes. So we've already gotten a couple of our teammates have died in this one, which is a little unfortunate. That's fine. And now I'm looking for my first gank. I don't know if they have a ward, but looking to come in here if I can. And we'll see. So this is a decision, right? This is first thing we're looking to do. Get in there. I missed that Q on him. So we'll go ahead and get on the Murdoch. The Murdoch hadn't really been paying attention, and I thought he was going to keep pushing forward, so I wanted to shield for them. But, we can just go ahead and chase him out. And without a blink, I'm just waiting for him to blink. He doesn't use it, and we go ahead and get that kill. So now I'm going to use my blink, and there's someone here. The gadget's here, so unfortunately, I can't stay alive. So I probably could have queued away there, but I was like, this is honestly my first Steel game. You're literally watching my first ever Steel game, and you're going to see me making some weird decisions in regards to buying items, because I was like creating the build on the spot about what I wanted to do, if I wanted to go into damage or get more tanky. But all right, so we've respawned. And again, as jungle, lots of decisions to make. Where do I want to go? So I'm looking at the map. I see that, my left side jungle is coming back up a little bit. And I still have one camp on the right side jungle, but I can go ahead and just start farming, right? I want to make sure that I'm not falling behind the Fang Mao jungle, who is a little bit more aggressive and can definitely gank a little bit more. So no objectives are up just yet. Looking at the map, it's probably about 30 seconds, 20 seconds until the Fang Tooth spawns. And this is going to be a big focus of this game, talking about Fang Tooths. Now, in jungle, you have a lot of control over when Fang Tooths get taken, because you can pressure a lane, you can push people out and try to free up your teammates to help you with it, or you can just go do it by yourself. Now, me being Steel Jungle in this game, you're not going to see me solo ripping Fang Tooth probably, but what you will probably see me do is try to get my team to help me. Now, I don't exactly remember how this one goes, so this may be a slower Fang Tooth game, but in general, you're going to see me going for it, me checking it right here. So this is a decision, right? This is macro. This is me looking at it saying, okay, nobody's on it. I don't have to worry about the Fang. Let me go ahead and go for a gank. And it kind of lines up that way. So going in for the gank here, this is a decision that I want to make. If I can, I missed that. So huge misplay there. Big sad about that. But now I might look to see if I can get onto the Fang Tooth. But he steps back in. And that's the decision that he made, and we're going to go ahead and take him down again. So really nice there. You see me trying to step around the trap, and with the gold buff actually being up, or the gold camp being up, I can go ahead and get this and kind of ping my teammate to come get it. I don't remember if he actually does get it, but I was going to try to give this to the AD carry if possible, and I don't think he's coming over here, so I'll just go ahead and take it. So we'll go ahead and get this gold camp, and I'll probably just back just because I'm low. We have my blue buff back up. See if she tries to stop me here. All right, so I just go ahead and take that decision. So we'll buy some more items. My blue buff is up, but again, Fangtooth is still up. So when Fangtooth is up, you know, me being a jungler, I'm going to prioritize that side of the map quite a bit. Now, Fangtooth, the first buff gives you longer duration on your jungle buffs. The second Fangtooth is going to give you 8%. I believe it's 8%. I forget what it is. It's going to give you additional movement speed out of combat. And then the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth buff for Fangtooth, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's additional stats, but I'm trying to quote all the stats. I believe it's just magic power, attack damage, armor, and then magic power and attack armor. So, or physical armor, I should say. So I can see that he's getting ganked here a little bit or getting pressured, so I can step up, but I don't want to fall behind too much. So going ahead and ward a little bit here. You can see the Fang Mao. He's going to start fighting the crunch, so I'm going to come in here. But you can already see I'm falling a little bit behind because I'm ganking, I'm rotating around a whole lot, but I haven't been farming a lot. So definitely got to make that decision to farm versus ganking too much. You don't want to be ganking too much. So I'm going to go ahead and farm a little bit. Since I was close to his camp, I can go ahead and steal this. So this is just like another decision that can be made. And again, I'm probably thinking in this gameplay, you know what, Fangtooth is not warded. They do have a Fang Mao. He can rip it. So I need to probably make my way over there. So I have my blue buff, and I'm probably... okay, so I'm thinking... buy here because I can go ahead and upgrade one of my smaller items, and then I can just jump to the right side. So instead of just running across, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly buy and jump to the right side. So this will give me the ability to go for the red buff, and I can either gamble here. A decision here could be simple. I either go straight to Fangtooth and ward it, or I gamble and I go ahead and get my red buff. So I don't have a ward up right away. By the time I got there, I would probably have it up. Oh, I remember this part. The Murdoch is like spending his whole life trying to kill my camp, and I end up typing to him and tell him that he's trolling because it makes no sense that he's doing that. So you're going to see me pause here in a second, and I just type and say, LOL, you're trolling. So you can't see it. I said, Murdoch, you're trolling. But yeah, so no Fangtooth has been taken yet. Unfortunately, the lane is suffering because the Murdoch is not helping, but this sets me up for a potential gank again. So we're going to go on ahead. We're going to try to land our Q charge. We land it. We jump in. I use my E there. I'm still, again, this is my first game on him, so I need to get a little bit more familiar with what abilities I'm using are. But Murdoch is going to go on ahead and get taken down there. And unfortunately, we lose our tower. Like I said, our Murdoch is still farming the camp in the jungle, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And he's still sitting there. And luckily, Fangtooth hasn't been taken. So this has actually taken me quite a bit of time. But I'm going to go ahead and ward this, and we're going to see. Maybe I can push out the mid, try to help. But it looks like Gadget is... okay, Gadget's still forward. I don't have my mid laner there, so a gank on that mid probably wouldn't do a whole lot. It maybe could pressure, but I'm not a very damage-dealing jungler, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep farming. So continuing to make a decision just to farm myself to be as strong as possible. And again, this is going to be a game where, because I don't have a lot of that solo Fangtooth rip potential, I'm just going to be farming myself. Now, I'm close to my ultimate, but I want to come in to help this Gadget. So we go ahead and get the knockback on her, and then she go ahead and blinks away. So now I blink into her, drop my ultimate, and we get a pick on the Gadget. So nice play there. I'll probably help push up this wave. The only thing I could do after a pick like this is I could either go back, farm, heal up, or I could try to ping and like get our team to go to Fangtooth, but doesn't look like that's what I'm going to do. That actually probably wouldn't have been a terrible decision making there, but I probably just want to buy my item. And I'm going into tank items, and then I'm going to consider at some point when do I want to start building any kind of damage, because I don't want to just be full tanky. You know, just particularly for this build that I'm trying, since I'm doing jungle things. So we have the Murdoch. I'm kind of go for a cutoff angle here. You can see if he is getting away from them, I can go for a cutoff with the Muriel diving in with the ultimate. I need to cut back in and try to help him best I can. So here we are. Throw that down. I don't even know if that's not super beneficial, but we'll jump on the Murdoch and see if I can help with the Muriel. She's running away. Chase her down. And again, now no vision on Fangtooth. This is, you can already see just by listening to me, you can kind of hear my decision making. Really thinking about Fangtooth all the time. So I know she's going to get away. And I do have one ward here soon. And I just keep warding it because I'm assuming that the Fang Mao is going to go for it. So you see me waiting for my ward. And boom, drop my ward. I assume the Fang Mao will eventually go for it. But he does not. So we'll probably cross face. We'll see what we can do to have some kind of presence on the map. 5 seconds on the river buff. I can see the crunch is stealing a camp. I tend to like to leave these for mid, but I also take them from time to time, depending on which ones they are. If they're ability power, I'll always ping them. but I can go ahead and take that. Even though I don't need the mana regen off of it, it's not bad to go ahead and take that. So looking through the jungle, trying to find some kind of a decision that I can make, and I see that they are like hard pushing this left lane, so I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and make this a decision that we make. Like, we'll go ahead and hard push this because the Kallari's low, so we can shove this lane out, you know? So the Kallari's kind of chilling here, but again, once our lane catches up, they're not going to be able to do a whole lot. So this would be an opportunity for the other team to make a decision to rip the Fangtooth, but it doesn't look like they're doing that, so we should be able to get this tower, and we'll see how we respond to like their hard mid push. Our right lane's being pushed out by Murdoch. So you can see I'm already starting to rotate out because I'm looking at them on the map. I'm looking at how much gold I have correlated to what I can buy next. So constantly thinking about when do I want to go back and trying to make the best decision I can. So I'm going to come up on top of this ledge, see what we see. I see my Murdoch in the mid. Jump down on Gadget, but she actually sees me or backs up. Either which way, nothing there. So now the decision is like, okay, full health, I could keep farming, lots of jungle up, I could base and try to buy something, but with my camp up, I'm gonna go ahead and farm that. I see my teammates are pushed up in the top left, or like in the left lane, and we'll just go ahead and farm here. I also have my crest available, so I'm probably just trying to reach for a little bit more gold here, and these are decisions that you have to make. You know, when do you want to back? You know, what's on the map that you might miss out on? So with Fangtooth, I don't have a ward. So you can see I'm going to check it here, you know? I see the Fangmao in the mid. There's the Fangtooth. So now I want to pinch in because I want to see if I can maybe help us win or clean up this fight, turn this fight around if possible. So the crunch is here. We hit the Fangmao, but wasn't feeling like a fight we could really take. I could pinch in and try to help, but the crunch gets taken down. So they've grouped up a lot faster than us, and we did not have the ability to stay alive there. So again, same thing. We do know that the Fangtooth is up, but I don't even have a ward. I'm sitting on some gold, and now the Fangmao comes and invades my jungle, which I love this fight. I love this fight here. I'm feeling confident about being able to fight him. He was already a little bit low. See him getting away from me a bit there, going ahead and drop the ultimate, and we're continuing to fight him, and then the Muriel comes down. So this is where I'm not sure I'll be able to do a whole lot more than that, and we'll see if we can fight her a little bit, kind of testing the waters against her, but I'm not feeling super confident here, so you see me start to kite out a little bit. I'll turn it back around and fight her, but with the gadget there, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stay alive. So the gadget takes me down. This is going to give me the opportunity to select my crest, because I did need to go back for that, and then upgrade one of my items. I'm kind of just making a decision about what I want. I think we're going ahead and settle on the Razorback, the Spalders. We buy items towards our Leviathan, and I'm constantly checking and looking at this True Silver Band because I know I want to get it. I think it's called that True Silver Bracelet, True Silver Band. Same thing though, this is a very slow game because the enemy team, even though they have a much more aggressive jungler, they haven't made a decision to get a Fangtooth. So my constant decision making is reading the map, and you can see I'm starting to ping for it, saying like, hey, look, we need to start moving this along and looking forward and trying to progress this, because this is how you close out games. This is how you get a lot stronger, and this is a very slow game in regards to Fangtooth. So I'm calling for my teammates' help on this one, and we're going to go ahead and try to get the first one. I like to look over the walls, especially if I feel like anybody might jump over, and we'll go ahead and grab that one. So I smite it just under 500 health, and I chase after the gadget, but not feeling very confident here. Chase her a little bit, but we do be taking lots of damage, so definitely over pushed there. Definitely over pushed there. Shouldn't have been doing that. I'm still just reading and deciding what I want to do. I think I was deciding on whether or not I wanted to go into the band or go into the Leviathan first, but I should just go ahead and finish that item up. So you can see I'm trying to decide if I want to go damage or if I want to go tanky. Either way, looking at the map, we have a blue buff up, so we're going to head towards that blue buff. And even though I'm like, yes, I'm the jungler, being in the jungle is not necessarily always the most important thing. Like if there was a lane that I did need to take over, like I could push that out, I would definitely jump towards the lane. So trying to keep your lanes pushed, trying to jump into fights whenever your teammates need you, really, really important. Unfortunately, they got into a fight. I was already committed to this, so I can jump out here towards our center because I do see that they're a little bit low. We might be able to turn this around. I see the crunch coming down the mid lane a little bit, and so I'm looking to try to get behind the Murdoch. You can see I want to go in. I don't have my Q, so I tried to press it on him. I didn't have the greatest awareness there, but we go ahead and hit the Murdoch into the tower. So Murdoch gets taken down. The crunch is taking some damage. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's his Phoenix there. So the crunch comes back, and we are like in this fight committed. So we take down a few of them. I'm going in after the gadget, and we're going to take her down. Very nice. So with that many players down, the instant decision is to go for the mini prime. So I'm pinging it, I'm calling for it, trying to see if I can get some help on it, because we have 3-4 people on cooldowns or on respawn timers. We want to go ahead and get this buff if possible. Now I'm going to take a bit of damage. I'm going ahead and jump back. Whenever you get the knockback, having that kind of re-engage is really important. We see the Kalari here, but I want to continue and just try to send on this. So it's low. I can't smite it because I get knocked back, but we go ahead and get it. So we were able to smite that a little bit lower, 2,400 gold. So you're gonna go ahead and see me base, and I'm the one that actually has the orb prime. So now my decision making is going to be based around, so you can see I'm deciding the Leviathan. So my decision making is going to be based around you know, which lane do I want to try to push, or if I want to get a little bit more jungle, I can. For some reason, I failed to buy that. Just the shop's a little unresponsive at times. So me with the orb prime, you can see I want to push out the right lane. So I'm going to go ahead and ping that, and I'm trying to make a decision with what we have. So 2 of our teammates are down, unfortunately, which I think is kind of poor timing, and Fangtooth looks like it's going to be coming up in a couple minutes, but if I can, I could get a little bit of vision here. I'm holding on to some wards, and then this will allow me to push this lane a little bit, because I do want to go ahead and start pushing and getting a bit of progress. So I'm making the decision to bypass any of that fight, that river fight, to go for this tower, because I think that this is some really good benefit that we have, that we could get out of this. So now with them behind me, I'm just going to go ahead and rotate, if I can, away. We'll see if I can get out of this. So we got the Kalari on my back. I know I'd go ahead and drop a ward deep in jungle. That's a decent place for it. And I'm probably going to blink over this wall. Yep, blink over the wall. And I'm just trying to get out best I can. So I have my Q up. We'll use this to try to charge away. I see that they're behind me. We drop the wall, which I don't even think I need to spin there. And we're out. So we're out. Check behind me. My crunch got a kill, and we're going ahead and back into jungling. So we have a couple lanes that are pushed up. So it would probably be best for me to like finish up a little bit of jungle, maybe farm a little bit, get an item, and then push back into a lane, because I do still have the orb prime buff, or the mini prime buff. Crunch is getting some kills, so doing well there. And we're just going to be working on our lanes here. And then you'll see me checking, and everybody should really be doing this, checking how much money you have and how much gold you have correlated to the item that you're trying to build, because you want to be building items that are, you know, or you want to be like playing on the field whenever it makes sense to, and you want to be leaving whenever it makes sense to. And sometimes you'll have a lot of gold on you, and that's okay as long as you are going back in a timely fashion to try to get stronger, right? You don't want to just be sitting on the field with 2,000 gold for no reason. All right, I'm probably looking to maybe get one more lane push, and then I'll probably base. Because you do want to try, like if I'm in this off lane, I do want to make an impact, right? I want to make sure that I'm actually getting this wave moving. So you can see just trying to shove this out best I can. And then I will probably base here. I'll maybe even check the cyan buff. Yep. So cyan's here, so this is more experience and gold. So we'll go ahead and grab this, and then I'm going to insta base. So you can already see the decision making. I'm looking to ping Fangtooth, because Fangtooth is up. So we finish our True Silver bracelet, and then in here, in a little bit, I know I have some gold on me now, but I don't know what I want to build yet. I'm starting to look. I'm starting to theory craft like live while I'm playing, because I have never played Steel Jungle, and I didn't really want to go full 100% tank, so I'm going to start trying to make some decisions about what I want here in the near future, but while I'm still trying to macro the map and make my way toward Fangtooth. So we have that right lane is pushed a little bit. My teammates got a couple kills, so now I'm just calling instantly for Fangtooth. And again, this has been a much more slower game in regards to Fangtooth. Going to go ahead and ward forward, but I'm going to go ahead and start this because we really do want to get as many of these Fangtooths as possible and start moving toward Fangtooth 3, 3 to 6, because 3 to 6 Fangtooth is really where you start getting some big benefits. And with my teammates getting some kills, we are chilling. So I see that the gadget's coming in, so I go ahead and wall against her. And she's going to do some damage to me here, but I am like hard focused on the Fangtooth. I really just want to make sure that I can get that. So we go ahead and secure that. Try to get away from her if we can. She's chasing me out. I'm looking behind me, but I'm good. I'm good. So I'll just go ahead and base here. And then now I'm going to start, like I said, I'll start theory crafting an item to get. There's like these mage items that have attack speed on them, and I was like really interested in that because naturally I can still like do some damage punching. So you're gonna see me looking for some of those items. I'm looking at like magic armor items just in case, because I think the gadget's doing pretty good. So just trying to make a decision about what I want to get and if I wanted to go more into damage or more into defense. And even just like learning this, like rereading this item, like the frontline items, just trying to learn about some of these items. So magic power, and these are the two items I'm looking at, prophecy and magnify. So basic attacks decrease the target's magic armor, so that seems like it could be interesting. And then this is like scaling off your AP, and since I'm not slamming a bunch of AP, I'm going to go on ahead and go with that like mage attack speed item. So starting to build something unique. And now when Fangtooths are off cooldown, or like when Fangtooths are on cooldown, they're respawning, and you have orb primes that are up, that's where you can start making a decision about, you know, warding around orb prime and doing essentially the same thing where you're kind of playing this dancing game and you know, trying to go for orb prime. So I see this Murdoch is pushing out the side lane, and naturally I'm going to want to deal with that. Even if he gets this tower, it doesn't really matter. It's more so just about having control of the tempo of the game. So even if Murdoch gets this tower, like, it doesn't really matter if the tower's up. What matters is that the lane is pushed on our side and it's not providing any pressure. So you want to have the lane moving on their side, especially like later in the game. You never really want the lanes just chilling on your side, because that doesn't really do anything for you other than give them a lot of space to work with. So you're going to want to like push your lanes and do things of that nature. I wanted to get the blue buff. I wanted to get the blue buff, but it's all good. So I'm looking at orb prime. I'm calling for orb prime now. I'm going to run to them. This will give me an opportunity to ward a little bit deep here. See if I can get in and help the Muriel. The Fang Mao super, super low. So I'm going to go ahead and dash in and take him down. And I may not be able to do anything to the gadget, but you can see I'm chilling a little bit forward. So now it's like pretty end gamey, right? Like it's very, like, the game has hit that, it has been in that place where it's very interpretive on what you're supposed to do. And so the decision making here is all about reading the map and seeing how many people you have alive and trying to make the best decision you can. So I see my teammates are down. I'm getting naturally, you know, aggressed on by the Kalari, and I don't have a lot of mana, and I'm holding on to gold, so I'm just gonna go ahead and base here. So looking at the map right now, what am I thinking? Okay, well, there's a red buff up, the orb prime is up, so I definitely have to be a little bit conscious of that, and you know, that's just something I have to think about. So getting my mana back, we do have lanes pushing, so that's good, and I'm probably just gonna go farm here. I don't think that they're crazy enough to rip an orb prime, although we don't have vision on it, but that right lane showing a Kalari, so he just stole my red buff. So realistically, right here, if I had a ward, I would probably go toward Orb Prime, or if I was just being a little bit more Orb Prime conscious, I'd probably be going for it. But someone on our team really should be looking to check that and make sure that they're not just like full ripping it. That said, we do have lanes push, so it's kind of like okay, because we are providing a little bit of pressure on their side of the map. But like, now that we're all grouped up a bit here, we can start looking and making decisions that are going to lead to some advantages for us. So I'm pushing up this lane. I can see the crunch going in on them, and I'm down to fight this if he wants to. So he's just like full chasing down the Murdoch. I'm on the Kalari here. We get some nice CC, and now I'm peeling the back line, the Fang Mao if I can. We'll drop the wall just to keep any damage coming back our way. So we take him down, and now with 3 people down, we can probably go for an Orb Prime or go for the next Fangtooth. Just depending. So we'll see. Maybe I call something. Maybe my teammates push for this. I'm probably going to go shove out that right wave and then drop a ward as well. So I can drop like a deep ward so I can see them if they're in the jungle, but I can also push out this wave just to provide a little bit of extra pressure. And this will give us Fangtooth 3. So instead of like hard forcing an Orb Prime, I can just get us the guaranteed additional like permanent stats with Fangtooth 3. And we'll be able to like carry that in, and I think either one of those plays could be a strong decision. So you can see I'm calling for Fangtooths, just wanting my team to at least know what I'm doing, and just farming while I'm here. You know, get some extra jungle while I'm waiting for it to respawn, because it's not up just yet. But I do want to be there on time. So all right, 5 seconds. We have left lane is pushing against us, so that's definitely something that's going to have to be dealt with, and right lane's pushing in our favor, so that's good. And the biggest thing is like just being prepared for 5v5 fights, because at this point, like this late in a game and even prior to this, it's all about the fights. It's all about the big team fights that are going to help lead into big advantages. So we're going to go ahead and take this Fangtooth. and we either jump into a fight here or we reset. So I'm looking to reset. I'm a little bit low. I want to go ahead and build some items. I think that's going to be important. And then we'll continue to move forward. And at some point, I think, like, you know, now that I'm like a little bit deep into my build, I'm probably just going to start making some decisions about what I want to build. Doesn't really matter as much to me now because I'm not, you know, not fully optimized with my build decisions. But with my team being pushed up in the lane, that's fine with me, but I have to deal with this lane. Otherwise, we just lose a lot of value here. And I think I lose this tower anyways, but you get the point. You don't really want these lanes pushing against you like this regardless. So you're going to want to shove these lanes out. And I probably could have saved that if I used my Q first. I just wasn't sure. Okay, so with Murdoch going down there, I'm just going to go ahead and choose to farm because I realized that I can't help them. They're already dead. They already got collapsed on. And in that position, if I had been in that, like, say, 4v4, what you want to do is you want to dance them, but you don't want to overly commit. So making the decision for my teammates to be mid, it was honestly fine as long as they don't commit and get engaged on and taken. So that's a little bit fine. The problem now is that we have 2 down and they might go for or prime. So you're going to see my decision making is to start looking for it. So I'm going to jump and try to place a ward. So now I can see them. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and jump straight in because I see that the Feng Mao was a little bit low, and we can go ahead and just like look to turn this fight. I'm looking at him, drop my ult on him, get the stun, get the kill, and then now we're chasing out the Muriel, who's trying to use her ultimate, not going to be able to stay alive there. Dive in on the Murdoch, take out the Murdoch, and I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, hey, look, it is still low. I'm going to go ahead and ping it to try to get my team on it, but I'm looking around and I see that my team's not kind of engaging the same way that I am or thinking about it the same way that I am, so I'm going to peel off of that, and I'm going to stick onto the Kalari. So now I'm on the Kalari. I'm going to try to chase her out if possible. I go for my Q. I don't think it lands, so it kind of actually puts me at a bit of a disadvantage angle, and I can't quite reach her, so that's fine. Looking for some farm, potentially, or looking at the wave, and just instantly starting to make decisions about what do I want to do next, right? So same thing. Now, I look at the map. I see, okay, they have 4 down. Me and the Cruncher here. Let's go ahead and go for Orb Prime. So just trying to quickly and efficiently make decisions about what we want to do. And this is what everybody needs to be thinking about. You always want to say, okay, what happened? How, look at the map and then assess what needs to happen next. Oh, right lane's pushing against us. Okay, we'll deal with that. Oh, they have, you know, they have 3 down and they're not here. Let's get Orb Prime. Oh, you know, the Fang Tooth is coming up. Let's go ahead and posture for that, right? So you always want to be thinking about what is the next thing that you and your team can be doing to make a strong decision. So we get that. I'm instantly going to start basing because we did get hit by the Murdoch from across the map. I'm also sitting on 2,400 gold. So me and the Crunch are just going to go back and we're going to reset. Like I said, I'm just like quickly building items at this point because I don't even really know. So I'm building that Frost Guard. I see that the right lane is being pushed by my teammate. And we do have our Orb Prime. So the thing with Orb Prime is that you affect the waves that you're standing next to. So split pushing with an Orb Prime is actually pretty strong. Like you can kind of sit back and, you know, you can kind of dance like a mid lane with your team. You can have, you know, one of your teammates split pushing and getting some big value out of that split push. And then eventually y'all will want to collapse and kind of fight together. So now we're moving up in the mid. We're empowering this wave, and I'm watching it. I see that the wave is low, and now we have some minions pushing in. I dropped the wall so my teammates can stand behind it, and I'm just like hard focusing the inhib. You can see you do more damage to the inhibs when you have minions on it, so you really want to take advantage of that time window. And I'm dropping ults. We're getting in there. We get our first kill. I drop my wall again. Try to block some damage. See if I can peel the Kalari off my Muriel. So I get the knockback there, take them down, and now we're just looking to finish here. If we can. So again, 1 minion, so we're going to have to back up there. We can catch this wave here. Unfortunately, I think our Murdoch didn't quite have the same awareness, so he gets taken down by the core. But we catch these minion waves, and we go ahead and take those down, and then we're going to push back in again. Same thing, drop my wall. Waiting on the minions. You can see minions attacking core. And we are just looking to finish here best we can. So that's the decision making here. Just really trying to finish this one up. See, I'm super low, but the minion's going ahead and finish it, and that's a game. So friends, hopefully you got a little bit of insight into some macro decisions, how I like to think about the map in regards to where I'm going, what kind of vision I want to constantly look for, how I'm dealing with Fangtooths, mini primes, aura primes, and then also just thinking about the lanes, because you do have to constantly be thinking about those depending on, you know, like what's going on in the game. So drop me a like on this video, subscribe for future Predecessor content. I know that this was it's another jungle video, but I want to provide as much information as I can. And macro play, making decisions, being able to read the map is huge for MOBAs. Always thinking about what's the next best play, where do I need to go next, what do I need to achieve next. So friends, thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to be kind to one another, tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.